Now, you may think there are no ethical ramifications when you drink a glass of milk, but unfortunately for the cow, there are many, many things that are wrong with dairy. So here's 5 reasons why dairy is not cool. So as we said, there are many reasons that dairy is actually very unethical, but we'll quickly go through 5 of them today. Number 1, cows are constantly pregnant for our convenience. Contrary to what we may have believed, especially as children, cows don't magically produce milk. Like us, they are mammals, so they need to be pregnant as much as possible so that they keep producing milk. So that means that they are typically artificially inseminated. That involves other practices that we won't go through in this video because yes, there are so many things wrong with dairy. So a mother cow is typically artificially inseminated. She will then have a baby and her baby will be taken away from her. This process is almost immediate. This has terrible, distressing ramifications for both mother and baby. But imagine being forcibly impregnated your entire life, having all the babies you have taken away from you, and then being killed when you are no longer of use. Number 2, calves are torn away from their mothers. So we already touched upon that in the previous one, but yes, calves are taken away from their mothers. This happens sometimes within hours, or it can happen over the course of a couple of days. This has consequences of severe distress for the mother. There is literature on the psychology of cows and what it means to the mother cow to have their baby torn away from them. If that time is extended, it can be even more distressing. But yeah, imagine having your baby taken away from you. Isn't that just so messed up? And this is routine in the dairy industry. Number 3, a short fate for the males. So male calves can't produce milk, so they are useless to the dairy industry. If you've heard of something called veal, that is a baby cow. Some of them are just killed and considered waste products. But does that sit right with you knowing that? Maybe this is the first time you've heard it, but do you think dairy is cool when it means this for literal babies? Number 4, the cows are overworked. Most of the dairy cows are going to be, by proxy of just how many there are going to be destined to live on factory farms. So they'll be in cramped up spaces, they'll be hooked up to milking machines, and they're forced to produce milk constantly. Naturally, they wouldn't produce that much milk either. We've engaged in selective breeding so that they overproduce. So this can be quite painful for them. It can lead to a lot of swelling. Things like laminitis can appear. Many suffer from lameness, infections, and exhaustion. And this is also what we can have milk and cheese. Oh, not even that, because there's vegan milk and cheese. So what's it really for? The 5th and final reason we'll go through today on why dairy isn't cool is because the dairy industry is built on exploitation and not compassion. Let's be very clear. The dairy industry is about profits. It's not about animals. If it were about animals, these animals wouldn't be in this position in the first place. If it were about animals and their best interests, there wouldn't be an industry like this to begin with. Even if you buy humane or grass-fed milk, pasture-raised, all of these labels that are applied to these milk bottles to make them seem more enticing, these animals were still exploited. Fundamentally, other animals deserve respect, and the dairy industry is anything but respectful. We don't want to see animals as commodities. We don't want to see them as things to use. We don't want to see their secretions as things we can make a profit from. That's why, if you haven't already, it would be time to ditch dairy. But those are 5 reasons dairy isn't cool. There are other reasons, of course, but here is a compact video just quickly explaining some of the reasons you shouldn't be drinking dairy. Thank you so much for watching. If you have another reason, let it be known down below in the comment section. And of course, don't forget to go vegan for the animals, because they are who it means everything to.